everyone, and welcome to Gate to Wire. I'm Bruce Casella, along with the beautiful Dani Gibson. Hi, Dani.
Bruce, how are you today?
I'm doing great. In just a few seconds, we're going to have one of my favorite jockeys, Adam Bowman, on with us. What a great guy he is.
He's one of my favorites too, and my fiance, Miguel Rodriguez. They've had a lot of success together. Adam is definitely one of our top riders here, and he's a mentor to a lot of jockeys. He's been doing this a long time. He embodies everything that's good with sportsmanship, and I can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah, before we bring him in, let's talk a little bit about Parx. Our Hall of Fame trainer, John Service, heads to Saratoga and gets a big win.
Yeah, so it was Belmont Stakes week. Lots of big action up there. Hold your breath. Hold my breath. Yeah,
Yeah,
hold your breath. A filly and Kendra Carmouche, they were on the turf, allowance optional claiming, big race too, big field. They went gate to wire, 20
29 to 1.
1. And I have to say, when this horse raced here at Parks, it was on the dirt, but I loved the way she did it. So I thought she was going to run well, and she certainly looked the part. But boy, she exploded. She just had a huge kick in the stretch. And it was crazy because they had that big delay up there with the power. So John said they were in the paddock for about an hour before the race, and she handled it all perfectly and still was able to stay composed and get the win.
Yeah, two people I love, John Service, and then, of course, Kendrick Carmouche. Just what a great week he had
Oh,
at winning the George Wolf Award. That was great.
yeah, and then he got his first grade one on the turf, $1 million race up
That's right.
there in the Manhattan. I know Dick was really excited. He loved deterministic. First grade one for Miguel Clement after losing his beloved father, Christoph. So just an emotional win for Kendrick, I'm sure.
Yeah, they moved that to Sunday. I forgot all about it. I was going to bet on it, and and I forgot about it, so I lost some money there.
Yeah, no, Dick definitely made some money. He was excited. He was touting that horse all week.
And Sunday, a big day at Parks. The National Thoroughbred League comes to Parks on Father's Day.
Yeah, it's going to be a great Father's Day card. Gates will open up about 10 or 11 o'clock, but first post will be 12:40. Not only do we have the three National Thoroughbred League big starter allowance races, we have two PA bred stakes races. So it's going to be a great Father's Day card. You're going to see some different silks too in the NTL races because they're the teams. Dr. Julius Irving will be here, Dr. J. So that's going to be awesome. Some other celebrities. So it's going to be a fantastic day.
All right, let's bring in Adam Bowman, shall we?
Let's do it.
Welcome to Gate to Wire, Adam. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Nice having you. Go ahead, Dani.
Oh, Adam, we just love you here. And I get to spend a lot of time with you in the mornings. You get on some horses for us that you ride. How did you become a jockey? Because it's not an everyday career for everyone. Can you just tell us again? I know you've told us, but it's pretty interesting.
Long story short, I didn't know anything about horses, horse racing, growing up. Um, being small, and I'm the smallest jockey that I know. I getting picked on, and somebody one day said, you should become a jockey, and I kind of took it to heart, and I said, you know what, I'm going to prove them wrong, and I'm going to do it. And I moved to Kentucky. I went to the North American Racing Academy in Lexington for 2 years, and then I started riding races in 2011.
Is that the Chris McCarron school?
Yep, yep. I learned under Chris McCarron.
Wow.
I also thought I heard that you did a little bodybuilding.
I did. I was on stage a couple times, twice, bodybuilding, working out. I love hitting the gym. It's a daily routine for me now. I work in the mornings. I go to the gym, work out, and go back to the races. It kind of gets the adrenaline going, gets the blood moving a little bit more than getting on horses and just enjoy it.
Yeah, it works out different muscles. You've ridden at a bunch of tracks, but what makes Parks home?
Parks is home. Well, year round is benefit to everything. Especially having a family, my kids. It's nice. I don't have to move around, but I've been here since 2011. I've moved around a little bit, but my family's here. Uh, Everybody on the backside. It's a big community. It's a family. I love them all to death. I love this place.
Tell us about your family.
Yeah, I got four kids. Three girls and a boy. Aubrey, Quinn, Weston, and Ava. 9, 7, 4, and 2. So they've always got me busy, got me hopping.
Oh, yeah. What's it like a typical race day? So you get up, you come to the track, you'll work a few horses, gallop a few horses. Then what do you do when you get to the jocks room?
Usually, like I said, after I work in the mornings, I go to the gym. But I go to the jocks room, and I'm not like a lot of the other guys who got to go to the hot box and suffer. But I usually get in the shower, get myself cleaned up, get ready for the day. I'll eat a little bit of breakfast, a couple eggs, some toast, something light, not to fill my stomach up too much before I ride. Look at the program, figure out what I'm riding, and kind of how the races are going to play out, and kind of wait for my races.
Adam, when I watch you win a race, especially on a horse called Lonesome Boy, you seem to have a lot of love for that horse. I mean, you really give it some extra loving care
Yeah.
in the winner's circle. That's pretty heartfelt.
Yeah, I love Lonesome Boy. He was one of my favorites. They just shipped him out to Washington Emerald Downs, so I wish them nothing but the best for him out there. You know, I've got my favorite horses, and then you got some that I don't ever that you don't know, and you just get on. But I try to treat them all the same, and there's a couple that got a little extra special place in my heart, though.
So what's that like? So obviously another horse you have a big connection with is Beach Days, and you've been big in bringing her along. She was just a maiden when you got her. But what's that like making that connection with the horse, especially if you've never ridden it and you only have a few minutes in the post parade?
Yeah, it can be tough. Sometimes you're riding horses and you only get a couple minutes. You don't know what they look like, any their quirks, issues, what they like, what they don't like. So you get a couple minutes to figure them out in the post parade, and that's where where the trainer really comes in key, where asking them what the horses like, what they don't like, and watching replays. But yeah, and then with Beach Days, she's just special. I'm the only rider who's gotten on her morning afternoon for the last 4 or 5 years. So she's special to me for sure.
Adam, what are the challenges you faced as a jockey?
Um, Challenges I face, I'm gonna say weight, and weight in a different aspect as a lot of other jockeys is because I'm light. So I have a bigger saddle. I carry a decent amount of lead in my saddle. So I always get pushback from some trainers. Oh, you got a big saddle. I'm carrying dead weight. You know, so that's been a challenge for me my whole career. Uh, Other than that, it's just the daily grind every single day, day in, day out, shaking hands, knocking on doors, just constantly pursuing your craft and trying to get better and, looking for the next horse, next winner.
Do you like the horse racing industry? Do you like doing what you're doing?
I love the horses, and I don't know if I could walk away. I've tried and I've thought about it, but there's something about sitting on the back of a horse that just kind of it takes your mind away from anything that's going on in the world, in your life, personal life. It just kind of clears your mind for that, even if it's that 2 minutes of the race, you're not thinking about anything else but that horse and that connection, and it's something special.
Adam, you have a great personality, and fans really love you. All the horsemen here like you. Well, you have a bond with some of the jockeys. Frankie's one of them. Talk about that special bond that you share with some of the guys you ride with.
Yeah, I'm really friendly with everybody up in the jocks room. I guess I'm one of the old guys up there now. I'm 35, and it seems like they're just all a bunch of kids that come in now. But I try to talk to everybody and be friendly with everybody up there. Anybody needs any life advice, riding advice, racetrack advice, I've been here forever. So, you know, whatever anybody needs, I always, if there's a new face in the jocks room, I always, introduce myself if they speak English because my Spanish is un poquito, not very good. But I always introduce myself and say, you ever need anything, feel free to reach out to me. As all the guys up there just try to, help everybody out who needs help.
Do you enjoy the fans that come out to watch you ride?
I love them. There's a couple fans that like to give you a hard time every once in a while, but I love everybody that comes out and watches me ride and supports me, the good, the bad, the ugly. Because in this business there's a lot more bad days than there are good days. So it's nice to have that support when you are doing good, even when you're doing bad. They can still lift you up.
So announcer Jason Beam gave you the best nickname, the Bow Show. Do you like it? And it's pretty badass, actually.
You know what? I love the Bo Show. I have it everywhere. I don't have it on this hat. I've engraved it on a lot of my hats. I have it on the side of my boat. Um, it's the one nickname that's stuck with me. I've had
Yeah,
so many nicknames, on the backside. You name it, I've heard it. But the Bo Show, it's stuck, and I love it. It just kind of flows. It goes really good.
I know. I like it too.
Now you mentioned a boat. I'm a boater. So
Oh
what kind of
yeah.
boat do you have, and what do you do with your boat?
I got a 2022 17 Carolina Skiff LS, fishing boat. I love to fish when I have time, if I ever have time. But and and taking the kids out, it's I just love being on the water. The water is my home away from home. It's my happy place. If I can be on the water and kind of get away from everything and turn my phone off and just disconnect from the world a little bit, it kind of brings me a little bit of peace.
What would you do, Adam, if you weren't a jockey, if you weren't in this business? What do you think you'd do?
I don't know. That's a question I keep going back to a lot lately. You know, Getting in the later parts of my career, I used to do construction. I love building things, working with wood, uh, real estate. I don't know. I don't know. I love the horses too much to walk away from them. If I wasn't riding, maybe I'd be a trainer. Maybe I don't know. I love the horses. When that day comes, it'll be a tough decision. But I love the horses, and it's going to be hard to walk away from them for sure.
I just have one more question. Are you superstitious and do you have anything like you have to do before a race? I see some jockeys do their prayers. Like Kendrick always does that one thing where he like blesses himself multiple times. Like, do you have your one thing you have to do?
I don't really have any crazy superstitions. I always pray before I get on my horse. A little quick prayer, and then I say a quick prayer before I get in the gate. Pray for me and my horse. Let us have a safe trip, and because that's the most important part, that we can come home
Yep.
safe at the end of the day.
I've
Are
seen
you,
you on the jock steps one time in your helmet, and I say a prayer for my jockey and horses and all the horses in the races are going in the gate too. Like I have my rituals as an owner, but yeah, I mean it's pretty intense.
Yeah, for sure.
are you a sports fan at all?
I'm a big sports fan. When I am not watching cartoons with my kids, I try to watch the Phillies or football or whatever the season is. I'll try to watch something.
That's great. Well, Adam, thanks for joining us on Gate to Wire. I really appreciate it, and stay healthy and keep getting to the winner circle.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
We're gonna have one soon, so look out for Nicole's King with Adam Bowman on
Let's get
The
it.
Bo Show.
the Bow Show.